Okay, so this is actually not a topic that I ever really talk about, but this is probably going to be something that opens your eyes up at least a little bit. 2 years ago, I was in a situation with a guy, and I saw myself probably being with that man for the rest of my life. And he didn't live in my current state. So all we had was communication and trips to look forward to. He was looking to move. And I remember at the time I was like really checked out at my job. And I had met with a client who was an insurance agent. And the insurance agent had said, you know what, Sejal, I would really like to hire you under my agency. And at the time, I was like, well, I don't know anything about insurance, but I do know about people, and I do know that I'm good at people. And the guy had said, well, you know what? In order to start your own agency, you would need about $30,000. So I'll just start you as an agent under me. And I remember I went home and I called my guy and I was like, babe, this guy has been a client of mine for about a year. He has this insurance agency, and I mean, I have a bunch of clients who are insurance agents, and I don't know if I can see myself under an Allstate, a State Farm, or an AmFam, or whatever. I don't know if I can see myself working under an agent. I feel like I can run the agency myself. And he's like, you can't. He's like, babe, why would you work under someone else? No, I'll give you the 30 grand, whatever it is that you need to start your own insurance agency. So I'm like, all right, well, let me figure out the job first. Let me understand how this works. And I had a conversation with one of my mentors who was also an agency owner. And he told me the benefits of life insurance. And I didn't understand because I didn't know. I mean, I'm a 25-year-old girl. I didn't know anything about life insurance. I knew that you needed it, and that in the event that something happened that was a tragedy, you then could take the money out and pay towards your family. That's all that I knew. Funny enough, that's what most millennials know. They don't know the real true benefits beyond it. So I'm having this conversation. I go back to my man and I'm like, I think you should get life insurance. Do you have life insurance? And at the time, he hadn't had life insurance, but he had a child. And I told him, I said, well, you know what? You should just get life insurance just to make sure that, you know, your child is protected in the event that anything ever happened to you. And he was like, man, nothing's gonna happen to me. Like, I study sidewalks. I walk down the street and I know what's happening left and what's happening right. And I was like, right, I understand that. But this world is a very different world. You never know what may happen, and the unexpected may occur. And if you could just be safe and take precaution, I think you should. You have the money for it. You might as well just go ahead and just get life insurance. He didn't want to listen, but he did. And he signed on, got a life insurance policy, paid his first premium. And I wasn't even in the business yet. I was still working under my same company as an employee, and I was looking to transition to another sales position. He was actually supposed to meet me at the last interview, which was in New Orleans, and I never made it because 2 weeks after he signed his policy, he was murdered. And how it happened was like, such a shock to me, because we had been on FaceTime and I was supposed to fly out to him in the next 2 days, and he was murdered. Minutes after we got off the phone. And it was just like, Dad, like, I told you about this. I told you to be safe. What happened? And it was nothing that he could control. It was something completely out of his control. And him getting killed was a setup. We didn't know who did it for months, or why. And all I could remember was, damn, I am so glad that I told this man to get that life insurance. Because now his daughter, who was only an infant, she won't have her father. But at least she'll have $1 million in coverage whenever she gets older. At least his family had funeral expenses that could help be paid through the policy. And that's a traumatic story, but that same agency that he said he would give me the money to invest in, I opened it myself 2 years later. That's why I got into the business. And that's why I did it on my own. Without money. Without any help. Just real life experiences forcing me into helping the rest of the world too. And that one situation stuck with me so hard to where I make it my duty to let people know how important their life is and how important having insurance is. You never know what may happen. Just how that situation happened to him, it can happen to anybody. It doesn't have to be a tragedy to be an occurrence. The one thing that is going to happen to all of us, there's going to be one day that is our last day. At least go into that last day knowing that you and your family are covered. And I'm grateful to know that I was able to assist, but I'm even more grateful because something that killed every piece of my soul made me. And inspired me to create the business.